Hey, what's up? It's me, Jermaine, and today I'm going to do a video review for the Batman Gotham Knight. And this is an animated film that consists of 6 short stories. So it's basically 6 short animated films. And this was released around the time of The Dark Knight, when The Dark Knight was about to be released. It came out just before that. And these take place between Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. Now this version of my Gotham Knight, I got it the opening week that it was released. It came in this collectible case, which as you can see has Batman on it. And then you can open it up and it looks like a comic book on the inside with like a reflecting like hologram, as you can see, how it reflects. See like Batman, like he's like gliding with his cape, you know. But it was also like and also underneath is like the main case that the video is in. It came like this. So this is actually, if you got it not as a collector's edition, it will look like this. But the one I had was collector's edition. But it was a steel bookcase version of it, which came in a steel case, and that was the one that I was trying to get. But as you can see, I couldn't get it 'cause I think it was sold out at the time. So I was only able to get rid of this one, which was still cool because it had, you know, that case thing that opens up and you see like the reflective, you know, comic in it, you know. So yeah, and as you can see, I have it playing on the screen. This was like the first video for, you know, like the first like video, which was like, I mean, the first of this animated films. This one was called Have I Got a Story For You. That's the one that's playing on the screen, as you can see right now. Now that one was pretty good, but that consists of it tells like a tale of like these kids who get together at a skate park, and they tell like these stories about how they supposedly saw Batman, but each of them really were, you know, you can kind of say that they were like lying, you know, because each Batman that they tell, you could tell that wasn't really him. But the real Batman does show up at the end of this particular film, and towards the end of this short film, he does show up. So there's like 6 films on this this video on the Batman Gotham Knight, and it was very cool. Now when I originally saw Batman Gotham Knight, I really didn't enjoy it that much. But as I kept watching, it grew on me, and it became like easily one of my favorite like animated films, you know, based on Batman, you know, because it has 6 films and they're very entertaining, you know, and they take place between Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. So they're after Batman Begins, but before The Dark Knight. They lead into The Dark Knight, and you have villains who were in The Dark Knight and Batman Begins that are in this film, like Scarecrow. I think Scarecrow was mainly the major only one that was in it. The Scarecrow character, yeah. The Scarecrow was, you know, was in Batman Begins, played by Cillian Murphy. You know what I'm saying? He also played him in The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises. Cillian Murphy, you know. So yeah, the Scarecrow does show up in this film or whatever, you know. Like in one of them, he shows up in The Darkness Dwells, because there are 6 films. The first one is called Have I Got a Story For You. The second one is Crossfire, and the third one is Field Test, and the fourth one is In Darkness Dwells. That's more of the Scarecrow. And Killer Croc also makes an appearance in that film too. Then you got Working Through Pain, which was a very entertaining episode. I mean, short film, and it was the 5th one. Then you have Deadshot, which I thought was very entertaining too, and that features the Deadshot villain. And in these films, Kevin Conroy, you know, from Batman the Animated Series, he returns to do like the voice of Batman throughout all 6 of these short films. So I'm saying they're very entertaining, you know, and I grew up listening to his voice, so it's kind of cool, you know, hearing him doing Batman again in this film, you know, so that was like pretty cool. And the animation on this film, it's done by Asians, like it's done like in a and as you can see, it's kind of done like in a anime like kind of style, you know. It's kind of like done like almost like a Japanimation type style. I think like a lot of like Asian teams like worked on this film or whatever. So they basically did this whole series of films like in almost like an anime form, like the Japanimation like anime form, you know. So it looks very anime, like, you know, like it comes like from like an anime style, you know what I'm saying? Not the traditional like American like, you know, style. It looks like anime. But yeah, the films, you know what I'm saying, my favorite ones on this disc were easily Working Through Pain, and it's about Batman. He has gotten shot by like a criminal, and he has to deal with the pain, so he's like suffering, you know, because he has like a bullet wound. So he's like suffering, he's like hurting, you know what I'm saying? So that was kind of entertaining episode, because at the end of it, Alfred shows up with like the Batmobile, I believe, and helps him. Now that was an entertaining episode. Then I liked the Deadshot one, which features the Deadshot villain. Now that was very entertaining too, because like Deadshot has his I think his target is, if I'm not mistaken, Alfred is also in that one, so I think he's after. It seemed like it was Gordon, I'm not mistaken, like because James Gordon, you know, Commissioner Gordon, he's in these too, and Batman has to stop him. And it was like a very entertaining sequence where Batman's like on board like the train and all that, and he has to be, you know, using the grapple and stuff. You know what I'm saying? It was cool, like cool film, you know. And the field test, you know, that has Lucius Fox in it. You know, the role that Morgan Freeman played in the Batman, well, the Christopher Nolan Batman films, like Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. You know, he's in that. Well, in that film, and it's about it's basically about Batman. You know, I don't won't really touch on it too much, but it was entertaining though. It was a very entertaining film. I mean, short film. But yeah, these are 6 films, and this was the second of the I think it says of the Batman films to be that were PG-13, rated PG-13. I'm trying to think what the first one was though. I know Under the Red Hood was actually, that was PG-13. That was very violent, because I already did a review for that. But yeah, this was also rated PG-13 too. Actually, yeah. In fact, this was really the first Batman film that was rated. That's right. This is actually the first Batman film that was rated. I mean, animated film that was rated PG-13. But also, you know, as you can see, like on the case, it had like some cool looking like images of Batman in action. You know, and these are all from like the Batman film. I mean, the animated, the Gotham Knight. Yeah, but this is very entertaining. You know, I have always been a big fan of it. But when I first saw it, I didn't really like it too much. But then I kept watching. For some reason, I was watching it over and over. Then it grew on me like, whoa, this is cool, and I really do enjoy it a lot now. This is easily one of my favorite like Batman like animated like films, you know, that they have ever made. And it also has documentary on it too, Batman and Me, the Bob Kane story, which was only one of my other Batman reviews, I think, films, the Batman and Me, the Bob Kane story. And there's also a couple of featurettes called A Mirror for the Bat, which explores like the villains, you know, of Gotham City. Then there's also like 4 bonus episodes from Batman animated series: Heart of Ice, I Am the Night, Legends of the Dark Knight, and Over the Edge. But yeah, this was a very entertaining film. Like also, like on the second one, which was Crossfire. That one was very good. It's about a prisoner that has escaped from Arkham Asylum, and I think they're transporting him back there. And like this confrontation of rust between like a gang war, you know, like a gang, and then, you know what I'm saying, then Batman shows up and takes them out. And it has like a very cool anime style look to it with Batman like in the flames and stuff. So it was very awesome, you know, it was very cool. But yeah, I enjoyed this. So this right here was my review for Batman Gotham Knight. As you can see the cover, and like I mentioned before, it opens up. This version I had, and you see as like a reflecting like Batman. You see like he's gliding with his cape open like the wings, which is cool. Yeah, it has Deadshot in it too, because you can see Deadshot over here at the bottom. See, he's shooting at Batman, like pow, pow. And that's Batman like coming and see, that's cool, that's cool. Now this is the version I had of it. So it opened up like a comic book. See like it opens up like a book. Because it has like pictures of Batman up at the top too, as you can see at the top. But it was also a steel case version of this film too, which is like in a steel like metal case. And that was the one I wanted to get back then when this came out. Cause I saw this when it originally came out back in 2008. It was right before The Dark Knight was released. It seemed like the week or within that month or something like that. It was right before it came out. And I remember getting the week it came out, because the Steelbook ones were like gone. I couldn't find them. So I had to get this version of it. But the version you can get nowadays, if you after this, it would be just like this, I think. Just only like the case. If you got it now, it would be like that. Just like a simple case. And it came on 2 discs. Cause the 2 discs had, like the first disc had the original film, and the second disc had the bonus features and the 4 episodes that they have from the animated series. But yeah, this is basically my review, and I like added that Kevin Conroy returned as Batman on here, like he did the voice of Batman, so that was fun. I'm so used to him in the Batman, the animated series and stuff like that, so it was fun like seeing him doing the voice of Batman again on here. And the animation was done, like I told you, like in a very anime kind of like style, so it looks like Japanimation, anime basically. And the major villains in here that are from the Batman universe was the Scarecrow, Killer Croc, and Deadshot. And I wasn't really familiar with Deadshot that much. Now I knew Scarecrow and Killer Croc, but I wasn't really that familiar with the Deadshot. Now I know who you know what I'm saying. Now he's become like one of my favorite villains. I think he's a cool villain. So yeah, this takes place between Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. So it's actually right after Batman Begins, and it leads into The Dark Knight. Very entertaining film. So yeah, that's my review for Batman and Gotham Knight, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun film. Now when I first originally saw it, I didn't really, I didn't really enjoy it too much. But at the same time, I could say after watching it so many times, it grew to become one of my favorite Batman animated films. So I would highly recommend it. If you're into Batman animated films, it's very cool. I really enjoyed it. Easily one of my favorite ones, So that is my review for Batman Gotham Knight. And this was the first ever PG-13 rated Batman animated movie. As you can see, I still have the sticker on there from when I originally got it. So yeah, this is just basically my review for Batman Gotham Knight, and it takes place between Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. So it's right before The Dark Knight, but after Batman Begins, Very entertaining film, and I would highly recommend this. And this is my review again for Batman Gotham Knight. See you.